Hello and welcome to another colorscope for people born in January. Yes, I've given these readings a name of their own. Being a sociologist, we always make up new words, and this is mine, colorscopes. I'm Dr. Karen, and you're on Karen's Colours. If you've been here before, then you are very, very welcome back. If not, if this is your first time here, well, let's hope that I have something to offer you that will help you through the month of August 2026. For this month, I've decided to look at the Doreen Virtues Ascended Masters. Now, this particular oracle was created by a well-known tarot creator, and I thought that some of the things that she has to say in her Ascended Masters oracle might be a benefit to us. So before we begin anything else, let's do a bit of shuffling, shall we? Now, as you know, I'm still not very good at this, but I am improving through a bit of practice. All right then, let's just choose from the middle in here and this one will do it. So let's get right into the color, shall we? Right, we need some colors for people born in January to look at their August. And what we have here is the strength, which is blue on brown. We have the obstacle, which is pink on yellow. And we have an underlying energy, which is white on brown. Very well. Your strength, blue on brown. Brown as the driver, the motivating force underneath, says that you are very highly energized and determined to achieve some sort of goal, some sort of ambition, something that you want, that you have wished for. And in the real world, here you are working steadily, but also dutifully towards what has to be done, rather than necessarily achieving these goals, although perhaps these allow you to do so eventually. Blue and brown are both colors of hard work. Brown as the driver means that the ambitions are causing you to take on jobs, take on responsibilities that you probably otherwise might not choose. But this is your strength. If you want to accomplish something, if you want to develop the skills that are necessary to do so, then in the real world, that's exactly what you go out and do. And when you do so, you find that life is ordered and organized and well established into the direction that you want to go. The obstacle you are facing is pink on yellow. You're overwhelmed by the need for more information. Yes, you know what you want and you are working towards it, but do you have the necessary knowledge that you require in order to achieve whatever it is that you're asking of yourself here, what it is that you want to accomplish? In the real world, you're also running out of energy. It's a case here of you trying to do too much, and that's basically your obstacle. Pink and yellow form a very pale orange when we mix the two colors, and that orange is always a color of crisis. So even though it doesn't appear as such in this reading, nevertheless, the pink and yellow together are asking you to do a lot of thinking, but you're not getting a lot of acting, not a lot of action as a result, because the pink is so very, very pale. The underlying energy here is interesting in that it is white on brown. Now, when we have brown as the underlying driver here, we know it's all about ambitions and goals and the things that you want to achieve in life. And that continues here as the underlying energy. But instead of you steadily working towards it, which is your strength, the underlying energy here says, hey, my energy, my ideas, my direction, my choices, my wishes are heading anywhere and everywhere. There is a scattering of whatever it is that you are trying to aim for. So perhaps what we have here is a situation where while you have lots of ambitions, you really don't know how to prioritize them. White doesn't give you any clear direction. And because it doesn't do so, it feeds back into the more that you try and accomplish, which is what you're doing here is your strength, the more new ideas you get, the more new ambitions you create, and the more scattered your energy becomes. So let's have a look at the colors that we're dealing with here. There's no black, but you do have white. There's no red, but you do have yellow. There's no green, but there's blue. You have brown. There's no orange, although it is hidden here. There's no grey. There's no purple, but you do have pink. And there's no cyan. So these 5 colours are what you are dealing with, the skills that are available to you throughout the month of August. Putting aside the underlying energy for a moment, let's now see what happens when we interact between the strength and the obstacle. Because when we put the strength and obstacle together, we often find that things start to fall apart. And the way in which we deal with this is by crossing over the underlying energies. And what we have here now is blue over yellow, and then pink over brown. Blue and yellow is the teacher combination. I have the knowledge, and in the real world, I'm able to dissipate it. I'm able to use it successfully. But the knowledge that you have here comes from your obstacle. So that tends to suggest that you've either got too much information or that you're still seeking for the correct information that you need, and that what you are disseminating, what you are telling other people about, what you are acting on in terms of how to respond to all of this knowledge that you have inside, might just be in the wrong direction. When we mix blue and yellow together, the combination gives us the color green. And green is always heading off towards whatever the next opportunity is. And while that opportunity may be positive, it can also be negative, particularly when you find yourself with yellow internally, because yellow internally as an obstacle often has to do with fear. It has to do with anxiety. I'm not sure what it is that I want. But in the real world, I keep doing what I've always done in the past, so hopefully to keep the lid on whatever it is that I am afraid of. That's what this combination has to say. Here we also have a problematic issue. We have pink from your obstacle linked to the brown driver from your strength. The brown driver says, I have all of these ambitions. I have things I want to do, accomplish. I have skills that I have acquired. I intend to move forward towards a specific goal. The pink in the real world, on the other hand, says, I don't have any energy left. I'm really exhausted. I can't do it on my own. And so I'm looking for people to help. But because it's an obstacle, you're either finding that whoever comes to assist is not doing it for your benefit, or else you're driving them away because of your demands. Can't do it, help me, help me, help me. And people say, I've helped you enough, I'm not going to do any more. So we can see here that the interaction between these 4 colors, the blue, yellow, pink, and brown, does not necessarily allow you to accomplish what your strength is aiming you towards. But it also doesn't exactly create complete inability to deal with whatever the ensuing crisis is that comes out of not being able to create the energy that you need because you are afraid of consequences. What then happens if we put in the intervening underlying energy? I'll separate those out again and pop in the underlying energy. Now, firstly, let's link it to the strength. And if we take here and cross over the drivers, what do we have? Exactly what we had before. We have blue on brown, we have white on brown. And the brown internally is a very, very strong activator of your desires to do something in the world, something meaningful. And the blue and white in the real world means that you're constantly changing the way in which you see the world. Blue and white is a combination that has to do with voluntary sacrifice. You see something new, and yes, you will accommodate to it. You have a particular goal in mind, it starts to dissipate, well, we'll accommodate to that as well. You take on a different perspective of the sorts of goals that you have set for yourself. And that in turn becomes something that works for you because this is your strength and you are using that underlying energy to help you along. When we take the underlying energy, however, and mix it with the obstacle, again, we swap over the underlying drivers, and now we have white on yellow and pink on brown. White and yellow is screaming for knowledge. I am so fearful because everything tends to fall apart. The enlightenment that I'm looking for as a result of the white from the underlying energy is just simply a clash with everything that I already know. And here we have pink on brown. There is an urge towards developing skills, but in the real world, once again, there is exhaustion. Fearful, wishful, exhausted, and everything and anything can happen. Now, white and pink are associated with justice. But because this is your underlying energy associated with the obstacle, it feels as though you are facing a lot of injustice. Things aren't going the way that you want them to. And if that is one of the causations that is causing you to feel fearful and to be just wishing and hoping and thinking and praying rather than actually getting on with learning something that will allow you to attain a goal because you have the requisite skills, then this combination is one that you need to look at very carefully. If you're feeling as though things are not going your way, perhaps consider changing your perspective. Let's now look at these missing colors. And we have, there's no black, or red, or green, or orange, even though it's hidden here, or grey, or purple, or cyan. These 7 colours are the colours of skills that you've probably used in the past, but for some reason are not active within August. So, what do? Well, look at them and determine which is the most appealing and which is the least appealing, and put those 2 colours into your repertoire for the month. And that will directly influence this underlying energy, which will change the way in which your strength operates and also change the way in which the obstacle impinges upon you. So what does that mean? Well, black asks you to take time out, to retreat for a while, to allow yourself recovery time. Whatever it is that you've been doing here, however many ambitions you have here, and the fears that underline all of those ambitions, it's time to get away for a while. The red says, gather together some energy, start to become passionate and excited and actually activated to do something, become your own boss. Here, the pink says, I can't, I can't, I can't. Red says, yes, I can. Green is about accepting opportunities, finding things that you can do. You have green hidden here when we cross over the strength with the obstacle, but as a colour in its own right, it's asking you to not only look for opportunities, but to grab them when they arise. And then we have orange. Orange is hidden here, and that's all about courage and confidence and being able to survive in any situation. And that includes in social life. Then we have grey. Now, grey is about walking the middle line between black and white, between yes and no, between lies and truth, and between what is hidden and what is obvious. Grey entices you to let things slide, just maintain balance. Purple is about change. It's child energy. It allows you to heal what has been broken, but it also challenges you to break things that no longer fit with what you want to achieve in life. And remember, you have a great deal of ambition showing up here. And once you've broken it, then you can head off in a different direction, build something new. And finally, we have cyan. Cyan is about peace and harmony and satisfaction. How do you attain that? Well, sometimes it means you've just simply got to remain calm and just not get overly involved. Let's have a look at what the oracle had to say. So what we have here is the green man. This is one of my favorite cards. Retreat into nature. Give yourself time out. Find the opportunities that are available. Make decisions based on what you are really passionate about. Allow yourself to use these missing colours so that when you retreat into nature, your ambitions become more clear. They're no longer hidden from you. Well, it certainly seems like August is going to be a rather transformative month for a lot of us. Maybe your month will be a little less challenging than the reading might suggest. But on the other hand, maybe challenge is exactly what you need at this time in order to help yourself out of the doldrums that have pretty much afflicted us for most of the year. So until I see you again in September for the next Colorscopes, may the colours of your life lead you in a direction that is for your own higher good. Catch you next time. Bye.